blood of our ancestors, it has precipitated. It we cannot claim. Soldiers of a struggle that has a conscience, we return to where the first brick was laid, where the first seeds were sown, a recovery from a bloody harvest. Uprooted from the burning streets of 76 to seek comfort, shelter, growth, a home and a hope, as dismal as it may have seemed. For the restoration of Africa's antiquity, we return to water and replenish a divine gesture, not with sweat and blood, but with tears of love and reverence. We have come to relay a new mandate, deshacklement from a foreign concept of economy, one that is strategic and is intimate with the transcendental nature of the African and thus the human spirit.
I must say, when I got at the airport, the weather was shocking.
One cannot get used to such temperatures.
The people are very warm and welcoming.
I'm scared of malaria, yeah, but I'll be fine.
I feel excited, I feel honored, I feel humbled as well to be able to do this because I think it's an invaluable experience. We're getting what we don't get on Google. We're getting what we don't get in newspapers, you know, because I really have an interest in political history, but I love it in the form of storytelling, and that's what we're getting.
For now, let me welcome you to Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Where do we start? You know, the struggle for emancipation in South Africa started decades ago. When you hear that the ANC now will be turning 100 years, that tell you the story. Because the emergency of the ANC derived from the fact that people then began to struggle for emancipation.
In your personal view, do you agree with the statements that they are currently saying that they see themselves as Africans in the definition of what an African should be or is? Do you see themselves as being Africans? Do you agree with what they are currently saying? And just to ask also, in terms of the Freedom Charter, where it says the land belongs to all who live in it, what's your take on that in terms of the African original men, African men, the indigenous people of the land, you know? Are they too accommodating? What's happening? Because we're still being, you know?
Well, I think your questions, first and foremost, Afrikaners are South Africans. They are South Africans. There is no other way that they can be. They are South Africans. The question of the land was taken away from black people. They were dislodged. The process of recovering that is very tedious. But I think there are people who have been assigned to work on that as to how far they are, whether they are succeeding or not. But there are attempts that the government have made. There are certain land that the government acquired and invited people to take over that land. But the problem is that some of those pieces of land are not properly utilized. They are not producing anything. So there is nothing that, in my view, will encourage me to say more land must be given to the people who are not utilizing the land.
Our experience with the commissioner was quite, inciting.
I've been hearing about him and getting that opportunity to sit with this old man, hearing first-hand experience of what he went through, it was like very inspirational. Even if you've lost the love for the struggle, on that day it just got revived.
We've sorted the political struggle, there's an economical struggle that we still need to fight for, because this is news to me. Honestly, I'm like 27 years old, and it's being brought to me at that age. And I'm thinking how many more young people that have missed that as well. So if you can bring that idea and have that, you know, common vision as a country, common vision as a continent, to say we're all moving towards that economical phase, second phase of economical struggle, I think that would be a good start.
But this was not a prison, it was a place where people were brought here.
If you want to make panel doors, you want to make flash doors, there are machineries, electric machines for making flash doors. Now we are importing them from South Africa.
Initially, everybody was buried here, young or old. But then, when the graves now were constructed, they were made the same size. And then we decided then that the children then will have their own yard and the elderly people their own yard.
All in all, how many people did you lose when you were here?
Well, it's quite a number, handful.
And outside of malaria, what were the other more common causes?
Mostly it was malaria.
Mostly malaria.
Yeah.
Having had the immense privilege to walk through this campus that bears so much history and speaks so much of the connectedness, of the unity, of the struggles of the peoples of Africa, and in particular of Tanzania and South Africa. And so as we gather here today to reminisce about this struggle, to recollect the history that brought us here, we must remember and arrive at the starting point. And that is that the struggle still continues. So what do we have to do? We have a responsibility to continue to nurture Africa's youth who are the promise of a better tomorrow.
it's interesting to be here and hear these children, you know, singing their national anthem the way they sing it. You know what I'm saying? And it's, you know, hearing them sing about Solomon Mahlangu and seeing them dancing to South African songs, you know, it makes me think about what we are doing in our own country to be inclusive of other African cultures, you know what I'm saying?
Well, it has taught me that we do not need to look outside. We need to look within the people that we work with and develop the and find what they can do for the community. Because then we look elsewhere for skills, while skills sits within what we have.
There's a lot of things in our African antiquity that can help us move forward. You know, how farming is done, you know, taking it back to like the cows at the farm were being fed molasses, you know, and that's not done in commercial farms, but it keeps them healthy. It's rich in iron. So if we practiced, or if we took from our culture the things that are good, you know, and took them into our future, I think we'd be in a better position to grow.
I'm more conscious now towards the liberation struggle. Before I was not even close.
I must also express the fact that one of the things I didn't expect much from Tanzania was obviously, you know, a more radical approach into how South Africans are treating, you know, other people in South Africa right now. But it didn't come out. So Tanzanian people are still treating us well, and it's really, you know, impressive.
It's been an experience. It's been quite an experience. You become more appreciative, but also learn about the people. So it's been interesting.